Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Business Growth Show, where we talk about all components of business and how to utilize them for exponential growth. My name is Athin Cassiotis. I'm a serial entrepreneur, international speaker, results strategist, business coach, mentor, and consultant. After over 14 years of being in business and running multiple companies, I felt called to start this show. I see many people struggling to start or grow a business, which is why I want to help entrepreneurs achieve success in business quicker, more effectively, and sustainably. Today, I have an awesome guest. He is the voice of the UFC, an author, podcast host, serial entrepreneur, and a branding master. He is the face of many products and has trademarked the phrase, "It's time." Welcome, Bruce Buffer, and thank you for being on my show.
Hi, Athin. Thank you so much. I appreciate the introduction. That was a good one. It got me going.
Thanks a lot, Bruce. And it's amazing to have you here. And, you're a very successful entrepreneur and celebrity. So, for those people who don't know who you are, please introduce yourself quickly by telling us a bit more about you and your journey.
Sure. I'm most known for my work for 25 years in the UFC Octagon. I'm the Octagon announcer. I'm the best dressed guy on the show. I got the tuxedo on, introducing the female and male warriors before they put their blood, sweat, and tears on the octagon floor in what is determined by most of the world as the greatest fighting event in the world and the most popular fighting event in the world. I've traveled all over the world doing the show, obviously due to the pandemic. We're only having shows in Vegas, and I do go to Abu Dhabi next week to what they call Fight Island, which is a pandemic bubble that we live in and we give the shows at. Very exciting, very adventurous. I love that. I'm also the manager of the legendary iconic announcer, Michael Buffer, who's known for his famous phrase, "Let's get ready to rumble." He's my long lost half brother. I met when I was 28 years old and wound up, long story cut short, selling two very successful businesses that I was making a lot of money in back in 94 and just quitting with the money on the bank because I was burned out and following my passion, and trademarked his phrase properly and directed and managed his career to the point that it became a $500 million brand. I've also done a lot of work with UFC, developing and doing everything I could to help them with their brand, more than just being the announcer. And during that time, I created my own phrase, "It's time," which is now turned into a major international brand. I have products being distributed all around the world. Most recently, my new bourbon that just came out, Puncher's Chance, here in America, a line of energy products and cologne and facial products to be released at the beginning of the year. So I'm constantly working on many different areas. And I love, with all the success I've had, including the failures that I've had, the experience that I've had in my life, is teaching branding and marketing to the entrepreneurs out there because it's my favorite thing to do. I have a 3-foot theory. If everybody around me can be successful, happy, and healthy, then it'll all come back to me. So I work in a very unselfish manner, which is why I'm on your show, Athin.
I love that, Bruce. And it's such an amazing story of, what you've accomplished, with your brother and yourself, over those years and how you're utilizing that. And I think that comes down to it is, what your thoughts are on how important is branding in business?
Branding is very, very important because aside from you being in a room and talking to somebody and them seeing you physically, when you leave that room or before you enter that room, it's nice to know that you're out there existing, you're living. And that's what a brand is all about. Brands can be a fad, which can come and go, or they be a consistent brand to monetize for as long as you put the work and effort into it and the proper marketing into it to keep it successful. And if you're passionate about your brand, which is what I'm all about, you'll hear me say the word passion many times during this interview, I'm sure, then that gives you a big advantage over anybody else. Because when you're passionate about something and you learn how to monetize it, then you can deal with the ups and the downs and the punches you're going to take in the face when you get knocked down to get back up, like Rocky says, and move forward and punch harder than ever. And be your own God, what I call God. With all respect to religion, I'm not being religious here. I'm talking about the word God. You, as an entrepreneur, are your own God, which means you're the governor of your own destiny, which means every ultimate decision, every final decision is based on what you decide for yourself. So accept responsibility for your decisions and lead by example and be a role model to your sphere of influence.
Yeah, I love that. And I think, if you don't control your brand, in my eyes, then it'll control you, right? Because other people will, perceive you in a certain way. So we all want to, I think, choose how we want to be perceived in that way, which is really important.
It's true. And also, too, you don't want to confuse people with your branding, right? For instance, if your name is ABC, then your Twitter should be ABC, your Instagram should be ABC, your business card should be ABC, your company should be ABC. Don't confuse your customers, right? Keep them on the same things. And when that name comes up, that title comes up, boom, you come up.
Yeah, no, really important. And so, you're talking about monetization and things like that. So what can branding be used for?
Well, branding has a lasting effect. So if you're branding and you're branded, then you're leaving a memory mark. Okay. It should be used in your advertising, but not ego advertising. That's another question, another subject I can go into. I look at newspaper ads and I look at all that as ego advertising. Okay. The best advertising in the world is what social media allows us to do now, which is direct market advertising to a direct market base that you can appeal to. Every time you get an email, every time you get a correspondence, save those emails, create a whole database for yourself. So you're marketing to people that are interested in your product. So you spend your advertising dollars and the opportunity cost of time of the advertising efforts you put forth to get the best results possible. So branding is an image that's created that is known before you walk in that room. They have an idea of what to expect, right? Now, granted, if you're starting out, that's not always the case. But if you establish it and you do it smartly, it will become the case. And then you stand above all others. Not just, there's many realtors out there, okay? And they put their images on bus benches and all that kind of stuff, which is great, right? But how do you stand above everybody else, right? A little bit of branding, a little bit of pizzazz, a little bit of showbiz, it helps.
Yeah, definitely. I completely agree. And, there's a lot of different elements of branding and celebrity branding, is a big portion of that as well, right? It's the branding by association of who you do business with and who you associate with. Because there's a lot of significance with branding where, a lot of people want to get significant, we all have a need for significance in different ways as humans. And, if we don't have it ourselves, then if we can get it through others, and that's why I guess, people pay and they get celebrities in for big brands as well.
Yeah, I get asked all the time. I'm not a big fan of the word celebrity, to be honest with you, because I don't like to feel that I'm better than anybody else. I just feel that what I do, I try to be better than anybody else, but I treat everybody equally, which is one of the secrets of success, I believe, also for everybody to understand. But I get offered, obviously Instagram posts, spokesperson for companies, the videos I do for your Facebook or whatever. I offer all these services through my website, if I could plug it, which is brucebuffer.com. You can learn more about what I do there. But it's very important. Obviously, your points are very well taken and very important.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. And, and I think what you're really great at is that endorsement type thing, right? Is where it's how you can really monetize it in a different way, right? Of how you can leverage that and put that message out there because you do have a following, because you do have this stature about yourself. So how can entrepreneurs create those, endorsement opportunities?
Well, it's all about your product or, what the venture that you're promoting. I mean, for me, what I do is like, let's say, for instance, somebody's promoting a speaking event or product, and they want me to do a social media post or do something for their Facebook. There's different offers that come in to me, either to be a spokesperson for the company as I am for casinos and products. And, you can see all that stuff out there, or a one-off type thing where it's a video, as I've done for many people, where you can put it on and I'm giving you the big pizzazz, the big introduction, because that's what I do. People put me in the room either to close the sale, right, or to promote the product and venture at hand. Also, my last name is Buffer, which in the dictionary, if you look at it, I'm basically the buffer zone. I'm the point between the buyer and the seller. I'm that guy in the middle that creates the boom that brings the people together. And that's the way I work.
Yeah, I really love that. And, such great advice there. And, you do, I watch UFC. You do such an amazing job of, introducing everybody and, making it entertaining, but also, you've got a lot of passion to yourself, which I really love about what you do. And that's obviously your word of what you love to use as well. So what do you, enjoy most about being that, the voice of the UFC and everything involved in that?
Well, I've been a fighter my whole life. I have 3 black belts and I've been a martial artist since I was 12, and I've done a lot of fighting myself, never as a professional. I really love the sport of fighting. Okay. It's like Dana White, our owner, says, if there was 4 corners, there was a baseball game, a tennis match, and a hockey game over here, but the fight broke out on the fourth corner. Everybody goes to watch the fight. It's just human nature. It's in our DNA, right? So it's in my DNA. I love it. I sit there, I watch the greatest warriors. I had the best seat in the house. Before pandemic, I traveled all exotic parts of the world. And it's like being James Bond. You know, I put a tuxedo in a bag and I find a casino. I'm a big poker player. And then I, have fun and come home. It's a great thing along with all the work involved. So I cherish it. I'm passionate about it. But at the same time, I love entertaining people. I love getting people excited. I never thought I'd be a cheerleader. I became the ultimate cheerleader. I never thought I'd be a cheerleader. But I enjoy it. You're right with passion. I can't announce the way I announce. And when my passion wanes, then you're going to hear that I'm going to retire. And I will, because I'm not going to do all the work I have to do, all the time away from my family and loved ones I have to spend, the sacrifices I have to make, even though I have an amazing job, if I don't have my passion. And I'll say it again. If you don't have passion for what you're doing, you're not going to be the best you can be. You'll be good, but you're not going to be the best you can be.
Yeah, no, I really love that. And, it really shows with everything you do. And you're right. There's something about that, the human nature with fighting. And, I enjoyed playing poker from time to time as well. And whether it's, small games with friends, or going and, doing, going all in or no limits and stuff at casinos, which is, I think it's better when you play no limits, because when you sort of are restricted with the amount that you can play, it's a bit hard to bluff and things like that in poker.
That's true. But also too, there's a couple analogies here. Poker and life, as well as fighting, very big similarities mentally. When you put all your chips on the line and you go all in on a business deal, personal life, whatever, two things are going to happen. You're either going to get knocked out or you're going to take all the chips and you're going to be the winner of the game. The other thing is, and this is very important, I never lie. I might embellish in sales, create the thing, but I never lie. If I'm playing poker with you, I'm going to lie through my teeth to get all your chips. But lying is legal at the poker table. But in life, I never lie, because the worst thing you can do in life is walk around trying to remember the lies you told. And then there'll be times you'll lose the respect of your peers. You lose this. I never want to do that. And if I'm in business with somebody, I tell them too, if you lie to me, you try to cheat me one time, I'm gone. I don't care how much money we're making. I'm gone. It's like a woman who gets slapped by that guy. Well, what's next? A punch? You want to sit around and wait for that? Get out of there.
Yeah, no, such awesome points. And, you're right. And I think that there's an aura, people feel it, right? The energy that we have. And, there's an aura of authenticity about people. And I'm the same way, right? I don't lie. I always, say what I'm going to say. And, people can feel when you're being, distrustful, whether they find out at the time, but there's that natural feeling that you get. And that really translates, I think, in relationships in general, whether it's business or personal relationships, but, even more so in business, because there's likely money involved, and that can cloud people's judgment as well.
Oh, absolutely. When you lie, you're setting yourself for failure. We're sitting around, I won't name names, but we're looking at politicians daily that are lying, at least here in the United States. It's not going well for them.
Yeah, definitely. And
lead by example, everybody. I don't care what you are. If you're going to tell somebody to do something, you better be the best at it, or you better at least be able to do it, or you will not gain the respect or get the following you need to get. In Europe, I remember when I was a kid, and my dad took me to Europe when I was 11, and I checked in and I saw the girl at the front desk, and suddenly she's in the restaurant in these German hotels. And suddenly she's cleaning our room. And I'm like, Dad, why is she doing all that? He said, well, they have to learn every aspect of this job if they want to become the manager someday and run this hotel. Well, that had an effect on me that I've carried through my entire life. If I'm going to tell somebody how to pack a box, I better be able to pack that box. If I'm going to tell somebody how to make a phone call, as I've on telemarketing companies and trained thousands of people how to sell on the telephone and telemarketing, I got to be the best that I can be. And I was. And that way I got the best results out of everybody. And those companies were extremely successful.
Yeah, I really love that. And I did the same like that. I've got a couple of businesses myself, and, I've done all the tasks as well. And that allows me to now, delegate things properly and really understand everything. And, I didn't finish school, but I finished an MBA recently that I got involved in. And that was a big thing for me to sort of go down that path and be accepted and finish it. And I think that well-roundedness as an entrepreneur is really important, because those blind spots is what can potentially hurt you down the line.
Absolutely. And congratulations to you finishing your MBA. That's fantastic. Now me, I did not finish college because I started my first company in 19 and I was working from 5 in the morning to 1 in my business in the telemarketing industry. And then I was going to school from 2 o'clock to 10 o'clock at night. And after the second year, I realized that I was studying at night what I was putting into effect during the day. And I learned that as important as college is, especially if you want to be a doctor, an attorney and all that, but I believe that learning in the streets was very important for me. I'm not telling anybody not to go to college, but college teaches knowledge. It doesn't teach true application. You don't learn that until you're out there doing it. And I decided to go do it. Although I would have gone back to college, as you did, to achieve something if that was my goal. But I got lucky because I look at life as it's a term I use in my book. It's time. I call it a bufferism. But I lead my life by BSC, which means balls, skill, and confidence, with a 20% luck factor. Okay. And that's what you need in life, right? And if you don't have BSC, you shouldn't sit down at that poker table. You shouldn't go into that meeting room. You better have BSC when you walk in there to be the best you can be.
Yeah, no, I really love that. And, like I didn't finish school and, my teachers told me I wouldn't be successful. My parents told me that were teachers told me I would never be able to study as well. Right. So I sort of, did it to prove everybody wrong, but also learn about business. But like you said, it was about, I also learned from people that are very successful, right? I've got many coaches, high-end coaches, and getting that street smarts, the actual business knowledge of people that are very successful. When you couple it with the other knowledge, then it starts to become very powerful, and you can really get some great results as well.
Absolutely. But just brought up a salient point. People will love you on the way up. They'll also tell you they don't think you're going to make it. But the people love the way up when you get there, they can't wait to tear you down. It's natural human nature. And don't forget, I have so much respect for teachers. They should make so much more money than they make, especially here in the US. I'm not sure about other areas where they should make so much money as law enforcement do too. But teachers teach. Okay. I've said it.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. So, finally, what one key piece of advice would you give to, all the entrepreneurs listening?
I'm going to touch on what I said earlier. Ask yourself, look in the mirror, be realistic to yourself, and ask yourself if you're truly passionate about what you're doing. And then ask yourself, after you get that answer, what are you passionate about in life? And if the answer is the same, then you're in. You're going forward. You'll be able to deal, and you'll be the best you can be. But if your passion lies somewhere else, and ask yourself, can I monetize that passion? Then consider the path of life that you're choosing. Right now, we're in a pandemic situation, and my heart goes out to the people suffering as a result of it. It really does. I try to pay it forward every way I can to help people around me. My business is thriving. I've embraced it and I've adapted, because we have to adapt today better than ever to our businesses, and business is booming for me. But at the same time, you need to really realize, with all the obstacles you have to face more than ever in this day and age that we live in, are you passionate about it? Will you be able to deal with all you're going to have to face? And are you really going down the path where there is a pot of gold at the end of that path? Be realistic. Look in the mirror and be realistic, and set your goals constructively. Don't overestimate your goals. We'd all like to be a millionaire. I always wanted to be a millionaire until I, luckily became one, and working to become one again and again and again as time goes on. But I've also lost my money 2 or 3 times in my life and had to start over again, right? Without passion, I wouldn't be able to achieve that. So really look at it and say, is this really the path that I want to be on? And then when you step on that path, just be the best you can be. Prepare yourself to be the best you can be. It's not about being number one or being the most successful. It's about being successful and marketing yourself to a realistic goals and a realistic geographical region. One thing I've always learned is that wherever your business is, if you market to a 1 mile radius of where your business is, to everybody around you, if everybody's your customer, you're a multimillionaire. So don't think I got to do business in this other state when you live here. Concentrate on being successful in your immediate geographical area and branch out and build from a strong base. Because all business is the same to me. It's just the product that's different. And that's the way I look at it.
Yeah, no, that's really awesome advice. I love that. And, we met at Mega Success, where I thoroughly enjoy your business insights, and you're much more than the voice of the UFC. You know the power of branding and create opportunities that extract as much value from it as possible. I'm very grateful that we connected, and I look forward to work with you in the future.
Thank you, Athin. Pleasure to be on your show. And to everybody out there, again, I wish you all the best success. Big cheers and no fears forever. Just believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. and do what it takes to make sure your goals will happen.
Yeah, I love that. So, thank you very much for your time today, Bruce. I'm sure many people have greatly benefited from your valuable wisdom. So,
Thank you.
As you said before, go to brucebuffer.com. That's where Bruce, you can find all about Bruce and what he offers and how he can help you in different ways.
Thank you.
And yeah, I don't know, do you want to say anything else more about yourself in terms of the website or anything like that?
For the if you're a UFC fan and you want the championship introduction, I'll introduce you like a champion, like George St. Pierre, Chuck Liddell, Conor McGregor, whatever. I'll give it all to you, and a video and audio. I got to tell you, my partner and I, when we do these videos, whether it's weddings, birth of babies, or even the business videos, the thank you, and we don't charge what you think we charge, okay? Because I could charge a lot for these things, but we give partial proceeds to animal, military, and children's charities, and it really makes us happy. But the thank you notes we get and how happy we're making people. I love making money, Athin, I really do. But life is more than just making money. A pat on the back, realizing you're doing something good for people, that gets me through my day, and it really makes me feel good. And that's one of the reasons we devote all the time we do to do that. So whatever I can help you with, brucebuffer.com, check it out. You can also book coaching appointments through there too if you want.
Yeah, awesome. That's an amazing offer. Thanks, Bruce. And thank you everyone for watching and listening to this show where we talk about everything on business growth. You can find me on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram as Athin Cassiotis, or visit my website, athincassiotis.com. I completely agree with you, or do I? The only way we know is if you tune in next time. So until next time, remember that our business grows when we learn skills and take action using them in spite of fear. Have a great day.